So, S.T. Coleridge. This man, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Okay? And he is the co-author of lyrical ballads. And lyrical ballads can be called the manifesto of romantic literature. With the publication of lyrical ballads, English literature history gets a new entity, that is romantic literature. Previously there was a age, that is the new classical age, and the new classical age, that should be that the line, rhythm, and the everything would be maintained properly in case of new classical age. And with the publication of lyrical ballads, in case of expression, in case of philosophy, in case of attitude, there was an attitude that is equality, fraternity, and liberty. And for this reason, the romantic revival started with the publication of lyrical ballads. And our today's author, S.T. Coleridge, is a co-author of that lyrical ballads, published in 1798. 1798. Okay, so this is S.T. Coleridge, this man, that's fantastic in appearance. Okay, and Samuel Taylor Coleridge, a prominent figure in the British Romantic movement, was born on October 21st, 1772 in Devonshire, England. When? 1772. And his father, a vicar or a headmaster of a grammar school. Vicar means jajok, okay? The religious leader of a church. He is called vicar. Who? That means Samuel Taylor Coleridge's father. As well as he was a headmaster of a grammar school. That means S.T. Coleridge's father. Grammar school at that time, a secondary school based on, that means William Shakespeare had been studying in a grammar school. At that time, people would go to grammar school, that is Latin grammar and Roman grammar, that is secondary school, you can say. And out of 14 siblings, our author, S.T. Coleridge, is the youngest out of 14, not 4. 14. And S.T. Coleridge was the youngest. And with Cambridge being the Coleridge being the youngest, Coleridge's early life was marked by the love of reading. Actually, I have said in your class or other, I don't know. Actually, knowledge can be accumulated in three different ways. One of them is reading. And the first thing is reading. Second one is study tours, that is traveling. Ibn Battuta visited many parts of this world. Why? For acquiring knowledge. And the third one, that is discussion, understanding, and others. Through Socrates' dialogue, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, they would deliver lecture, and the people and the fellow people would visit Socrates, Aristotle, Plato in their home, in their residence, and they would be chatting with Socrates. That means asking and answering questions. You can also earn knowledge by asking questions to a more knowledgeable peers. Suppose in tea stall, in garden, in library, anywhere, if you meet somewhere and if you ask him or her some question, you can also get knowledge. So our author, S.T. Coleridge, he accumulated knowledge from the very early age by reading. And what sort of reading he did? He did actually the Arabian Nights entertainments. That was his favorite books. Whose favorite books? That is S.T. Coleridge's favorite book. He had a love. S.T. Coleridge has a love, tremendous love for reading, and his favorite book was Arabian Nights entertainments. And his father sudden death in 1781. When S.T. Coleridge was born? 1772. And in 1781, what was his age? 9. So at the age of 9, S.T. Coleridge lost his father, and led to Coleridge's attention at Christ Hospital School in London, and where he made his lifelong friend Charles Lamb. Another point, as I have said, that means you get inspiration, you get enthusiasms. Why it happens so? That means scientifically, whenever you will be happy, in your brain there will have some happy neuron that will secrete. আপনি যখন হাসবেন হা 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 করে, যখন আপনি আড্ডা দিবেন, যখন আপনি পজিটিভ কোনো কিছু ভাববেন, তখন ব্রেনের মধ্যে যে নিউরন, যে ইন্সপিরেশনগুলো, এর মধ্যে হ্যাপি নিউরনগুলো আছে, সেই হ্যাপি নিউরনটা নিঃসৃত হয়। ওকে, so S.T. Coleridge attended the Christ Hospital London School, and there he got a friend, lifelong friend. His name is Charles Lamb. With Charles Lamb, he had been discussing many things relating to his intellectual endeavors. That means what he likes. Coleridge কি পছন্দ করতো? আমরা বন্ধুদের সাথে যখন আড্ডা দিই তখন বলি আমি আর এটা ভালো লাগে, আমার এটা করতে ভালো লাগে, চলো বেড়াতে যাই। হ্যাঁ, এই যে আড্ডা, এই আড্ডার মধ্য দিয়ে মানুষের মধ্যে এংজাইটিটা দূর হয় এবং তার ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল ইনডেভার্সটা হচ্ছে ফরওয়ার্ডনেস, সামনে আগানোর একটা ইন্সপিরেশন পায়। সাপোজ I went somewhere else, and there I saw one of my friend's roof. He had a rooftop সাত বাগান ইংরেজি কি হবে? Rooftop restaurant হয়, rooftop garden, and there was lots of trees, flower trees, medicine trees, fruits trees, so many. So that thing inspired me that I purchased 4 flower trees, 1 JJ cactus. এটার নাকি আরেকটা নাম আছে, চিংড়ি cactus. Okay, so this is the way you will be getting inspired. So S.T. Coleridge got inspired in his intellectual endeavors with his lifelong friend Charles Lamb when he had been studying at Christ Hospital School, London. Then, during his time at Christ Hospital, Coleridge's intellectual curiosity flourished. Curiosity means usshaho, uddipana. So the intellectual curiosity flourished, and he excelled in his studies. Okay. If you get that you can, if anybody says that yes, you can, and with this simple word, you can be inspired, and you can go towards the top of the Mount Everest, top point of the Mount Everest. With the simple word, if you can. So with the talking with Charles Lamb, S.T. Coleridge's intellectual endeavors flourished, and he excelled in his studies. That means in his study. He later attended Jesus College, Cambridge, in 1791 with an aspiration to become a clergyman. Then his father was a vicar, and he also was interested to be a clergyman. However, his time at Cambridge was marked by a shift in his belief and a growing interest in the political and the philosophical ideas of the time. Okay, first time he wanted to be a clergyman, and a judge, a religious person, a priest. He wanted to be who? S.T. Coleridge. But next time he got inspiration that he wanted to know the spiritual and the philosophical explanation of the political situation and the others surrounding him, especially at the time of French Revolution. So he became a supporter of the William Friend, a fellow of the college, whose Unitarian beliefs made him a controversial figure. Unitarian, what is Unitarian belief? A person who asserts the unity of God and rejects the doctrine of Trinity. A member of a Christian church or the religious body maintaining this belief and typically rejecting formal dogma in favor of rationalist and inclusivist approach of belief. That means they will not follow the traditional religious ways. Okay, the Unitarian believers. So our today's author, S.T. Coleridge, became a friend of a person who was a supporter of Unitarian. Okay, and that also gave some indication that S.T. Coleridge will also be going towards the intellectual endeavors and will be the supporter of Unitarian. Coleridge's early years were also marked by financial struggle. Okay, the hey daridro tumi more korecho mohan. Nazrul, if Nazrul wouldn't be poor, Nazrul wouldn't get the opportunity of mixing with so many people. রুটির দোকানে কাজ না করলে রুটির দোকানের কাজ করার এনভায়রনমেন্ট কিরকম, কখন খাবার পাওয়া যায়, কয় ঘন্টা কাজ করতে হয়, এটা উনি জানতেন না। ওকে, so our S.T. Coleridge had the financial struggle because his father died when he was only 9 years of age. So a problem that would persist throughout his life, and he accumulated significant debt while at Cambridge. অনেক ঋণ করে ফেলল ক্যামব্রিজে পড়ার সময়, and which his brothers eventually had to pay off. তার ভাইরা সেটা পরিশোধ করতে হয়েছিল এত। In 1794 Coleridge met Robert Southey and another aspiring writer, and they formed a close friendship inspired by Plato's Republic. Southey they envisioned a utopian community called Pantisocracy. Okay, that means equal social system. They were also interested. As I have said that S.T. Coleridge was a lover of reader, was a great lover for reading. Okay, and for this reason he read many things. And at the time of Coleridge he read Plato's Republic, and in this Plato's Republic it was prescribed that there will be an utopian state. Their equality will be there, fraternity will be there, and the knowledge sharing will be there. So intellectual country, that is the idea of Plato's Republic. Okay, so inspired by this Plato's Republic, our writer S.T. Coleridge with his friend Southey, they wanted to establish an ideal state like Plato's Republic. So where they would live together with other families, sharing work, knowledge, not only work, they will also share knowledge, what you know and what the other people know. Okay, and freedom of thought, that means what you will be thinking, that can be expressed. So that state was imagined and envisioned by our author S.T. Coleridge. And this idealistic vision, however, was short-lived, and Coleridge's marriage to Sarah Fricker in 1795, a decision driven by the need to fulfill the requirement of their Pantisocracy plan, was a source of unhappiness for him. He was still in love with Mary Evans, the sister of a friend. The Pantisocracy project ultimately failed, and Coleridge and Southey abandoned their plans for communal living. Despite the setbacks, Coleridge's literary career began to take shape. He met William Wordsworth in 1795, and their shared passion for poetry, politics, and philosophy led to the collaboration that would revolutionize English poetry. And together they published lyrical ballads in 1798. So S.T. Coleridge met with William Wordsworth in 1795, and when they observed that they has an equal choice, for intellectuality, poetics, and expression of literature, and observing the equal interest, William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge published lyrical ballads that can be called the Manifesto of Romantic Literature. They published it in 1798, and Coleridge's contribution to the collection, especially the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, is considered one of the most famous ones. And that poem we are going to read. So, in summary, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, that is his full name. Sometimes in the Vivavoce or some places you may be asked that what is the full name of S.T. Coleridge. You will say Samuel Taylor Coleridge, a prominent figure in the British Romantic movement, was born in 1772, and his early life was marked by the love of reading and a difficult childhood following his father's death. Coleridge's intellectual curiosity flourished during his life at Christ Lund Hospital School and Jesus College, Cambridge, where he became interested in the political and the philosophical ideas of the time. Coleridge's literary career began to take shape after he met William Wordsworth, and their collaboration led to the publication of the lyrical ballads in 1798. That is about our author S.T. Coleridge. Okay. So we will